So the next thing that I wanted to focus on were my student work samples. So the first one is our expert writing book. And so students were very proud of themselves. They were able to select a topic of their choosing and write all about it. So in this sample, when you click on this first link, you're going to be brought to two student work samples. And so when you open it up, you're going to be able to see two very different writings. So first is from a second grader who is on the autism spectrum. She has a hard time with her penmanship, staying focused. And the reason why I chose her work was also because Mom and I were able to partnership over her quarantine to ensure that she had all the materials that she needed. She live streamed in during lessons and I was able to really support her at home. And then when she was able to come into school, we were able to finish her expert writing book. The next student that I wanted to focus on is a third grader, and he has a lot of emotional needs. And so this student really does not enjoy writing, is always very vocal about not enjoying writing. And I was so impressed and pleased with how much effort and work he put in. So much so that Mr. Latvis put on his morning announcements. This student decided to donate his work to our school library. He was so proud of his expert book on Roblox that he donated it to Mrs. Luongo. And Mr. Latvis on his morning announcements really just shined and showcased the student's work and his work ethic. And now we have a section in our school library dedicated to student work. So this was really cool and really exciting, and both students and every student who completed their work was just so proud of themselves. And I was extremely proud of them as well. The next sample that I wanted to show were some opinion writing pieces. There are two there, and the reason why I chose these two particular samples, the first is because one of the students, it's taken a while to load, I'm sure we know how that goes. This first student here has apraxia and struggles with expressing himself. And so we were really able to get him to express his writing and say, Mr. Latvis, I want more recess, and here are the reasons why. This next student that I have has severe encoding and decoding deficits. And so one of the things that we really wanted to work with her was being able to not be shy and to get her ideas down. At the beginning of the year, she was really afraid to even write. And so we were able to get to a process of editing and revising and really be able to showcase her thinking. So Mr. Latvis is actually going to write us a letter back. And we've already had a discussion, Mr. Latvis and I, about embedding more time in our day for recess. So this just demonstrates that students have power, they have a voice, and they can also express their voice through writing. So those are some really cool samples that I'm excited for you to look at. And another work sample that I wanted to include was some remote math. Now, one of the things that I thought was so interesting this year in being remote and flip-flopping back and forth and being in school one day and being home another day was being able to think quickly on my feet. So you'll see here, there's a second grade, third grade, and fourth grade sample. And in here, you're able to see students use the scribble tool. You're able to see students type into their slides, and these are actual student samples, so you'll be able to take a peek at that. And the next thing that I wanted to show here is some remote Wilson samples. So here's the first one. That was really what I was giving when we were in fourth grade, when we first went remote due to COVID. And then there's also an in-person lesson and work sample, so feel free to look at that. And then the last thing that I wanted to demonstrate and show were pre and post math assessments for two students. So one of the students came in and she has severe decoding and encoding deficits. So really being able to work with her, read the math problems out loud and be able to support. You see the growth from the pre and the post. And the second student I wanted to show had a severe anxiety disorder, so much so that it really impacted his ability to complete work and to maintain concepts over time. So again, you're able to see how much support we were able to give from the pre to the post, where both students really worked very hard to maintain their concepts and to be able to show their math thinking or show their smarts that we say in the classroom. Thank you so much.